Hey YouTube, happy 2019. Today is New Year's Day and I have the day off, so I thought I'd make a quick video and show you what's going on here with something new I got for Christmas. Santa was good to me this year. So I picked up this WELDPRO MIG200. It's the GTAW model. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of these little portable MIG welders, multi-process welders, if you will. So I'm kind of excited about this one because I use these things all over the place. You know, I have a generator where I take one out if I have to do some work in the field. I do have bigger portable welders, but these smaller ones are absolutely wonderful. So the first thing that comes in the box is the welder itself. Nice unit. As you can see, it's sized really nicely. It doesn't weigh much. You know, it's easy to carry around. Wonderful. Let's check out what else comes in the box. Now this is impressive. I'm going to jump into the gun for a second here. So this is real nice. I have Lincoln welders, I've got Miller welders. I mean, you know, and all these molded plastic pieces, each company kind of does things differently. I love the feel of this, I'm not joking. And in the bottom of it, I'll show you up close in a second here, there's a ball swivel at the bottom of this. So when you move this handle, you can see kind of that cable stays straight. Man, this thing is nice. It's got an extended trigger on it, so it reduces your finger fatigue if you're running it for a long time. Nice little contact tip, seems pretty nice. So the next thing that comes in the box is the power adapter. This will run on 240 volts or 120 volts AC. So basically what happens is the welder has a 240 volt plug on it, and then you plug that 240 volt plug into this adapter it comes with, which, by the way, I had to buy one of these adapters once for my Miller welder, and it was like $80. I mean, they're ridiculously priced, so the fact that it comes with it is pretty nice. Okay, so now all of a sudden you've got 110 volts. This thing will run on 110. It has certain limitations, which you can find in the owner's manual, I'm sure. Alright, comes with a stinger cable and a stinger, also known as an electrode holder. And it's not a piece of junk. I mean, I'm serious, it's not a piece of junk. Like, it's a full-on, I don't know if it's 150 amp stinger. It's 200 amp stinger. I mean, the spring in this is serious. It's not a piece of junk. I'm real excited. Ground clamp, yeah, it's fine. It's a great ground clamp. Great cables on this. You know, I'm doing this video right now. I'm waiting for my wood stove to heat up the garage here, and it's freezing in here. And I've had these in here for a day and a half now. And these cables, you know how cables can get when it's cold out, right? Well, they're super flexible still. I mean, I'll show you. You can see how it opened right up, laid right out. That says something because these coatings on the outside of these wires, you know, if they're made with a cheaper plastic or something like that, they're really hard and they keep kinks in there, you know, that's annoying. So I'm real impressed with the cable and hose quality. Also comes with a couple extra contact tips, an Allen wrench, and a little multi-purpose wrench, probably for changing out parts on the MIG gun. Alright, now I know you guys can't see me, but I just want to show you guys this welder up close, all this stuff up close, that way you can see what's going on. Now this is my first time looking in here too, so let's check it out together. Door has a nice little latch right here on the side. Pull that down. Cool. So you got a little chart down here for all your MIG settings. That could be important for a beginner. Up here, I'm going to take this plastic nut off, and this is where you can mount your spool of MIG or flux core wire. Now there is a nut in here with a tension spring, so you do have the ability to adjust that. Now I have had another cheaper, or will you say value brand welder before, and this thing was an absolute piece of crap. So it's good. I mean, it seems like the bearings in there are really good. I mean, it's a solid piece of plastic, so I'm not going to get too excited. Okay, so down here is your entire drive roll assembly. Let's check this out together. So right here you have this little spring tensioner. Feels good to me. Flips down sideways instead of forward to backward like others. It is spring loaded, which is kind of cool. Now the top roller is just a bearing roller. It's just smooth. It's this bottom roller that's the actual drive roll. Okay, so all that does is this piece of plastic loosens up here, little plastic knob, and the drive roll pulls right off or slides back on. Now you gotta watch because I see there's a key in there. There's a little keyway on that shaft, so be careful you don't lose that. Okay, so check this out. I was immediately concerned because this thing, I like to run these small spools of stainless. I do a lot of stainless welding. I do like bigger spools for your regular 70S6 or whatever, but yeah, I like the smaller ones, and I thought, oh gosh, I hope I can pull this off and everything fits. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this white friction washer on, along with the spring and that nut. Okay, and in my opinion, I think that's going to work out well. Let's see. Perfect. Nice tension on that. That was easy. That worked out really well. Okay, there you go. So you can run both size spools, no problem. Takes 2 seconds to change over. Let's change this drive roller out because I'm going to run this stainless wire is 023. So let's find our smaller roller here. That would be this one. Now these are dual purpose rollers, so there are 2 wire sizes on each roller. Whatever size you put to the inside is the one that will be passing your wire through it. Again, this nut just screws on. This is really, really easy to set up. Now, I'm just going to pause here. If you're a beginner, this is the best I've ever seen as far as being able to set up a welder. So just something to think about. Alright, flow meter is pretty straightforward. We've got our gas hose here that came with it. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of thread tape on here, so I'm just going to put it on for the purpose of the video, but then I'm going to take some time later to really put this thing together, check all the fittings, and make sure everything's tight. So basically, you're going to want to make sure you have that coupler, put that onto your flow meter there, and then thread this hose onto the flow meter. And the other end of this hose is male as well. Okay, let's flip this welder around to the back side. Take a look. Okay, so on the back, you can see we have power on and off right here, pretty straightforward. Here is our gas inlet. So basically what's going to happen is the other end of that hose that came from our flow meter is going to get threaded into the back of that welder. And again, I'm going to put thread tape on some of these fittings, not all, and I'm going to double check them. So, all right, let's take a look up close here. Nice displays on it, okay? There's a voltage and wire speed readout. So right now it's on the MIG setting. You can go to lift TIG, okay? Then basically what you're setting is an amperage, okay? Now check this out. I did plug this into 110 volts, or I'm sorry, 120 volts just for the purpose of this video. I am maxed out at 120 amps. So basically if you're on 110 volts, you're limited to 120, which is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, trust me. And then if you plug it into 240 volts, you can go up to 200. Okay, so if we go from lift TIG to stick, going to be the same thing as far as the amperage setting. And then back to MIG. Okay, and then we have a 2-stage and a 4-stage trigger. Okay, so once you're in the MIG setting, you can hit this menu button. There's a voltage fine-tune adjustment as well as inductance. If you don't know what that is, you can do a Google search on it. It has to do with when the wire shorts out on the plate, the rise in current to melt the wire off, etc. And then basically, there is your wire size chooser. We have 040, 030, 023. That's it. Okay, so probably if you're going to run 035, you can just set it at 030. See, I think these are just preset MIG settings, because if I take this off menu, check this out, 197315, watch this, let's go back. Let's go up to 040. Yeah, 212315. It's just going to give you like recommended voltage ranges, I believe. So here's the deal. You can just go through here and adjust your own voltage and wire speed settings. And there is a remote switch for the trigger on the MIG gun, so that is able to be enabled and disabled. Okay, so one last thing I want to show you is this thing called VRD up here on the left. It'll tell you whether it's on or off. Okay, so when you're welding, you're running what's called a closed circuit voltage. Okay, when you stop welding, that's an open circuit voltage. Now, a voltage has to exist there to allow the arc to start. But what's going to happen is if it's too high of a voltage and someone touches the electrode holder or an electrode or something, they could get shocked. So you need to reduce that open circuit voltage to reduce the possibility of any electrical injury. So this welder will actually do that automatically. If you don't weld for a while, it will kick on the VRD and it will reduce that open circuit voltage so that there isn't any kind of an electrocution hazard. So in with the owner's manual was a little fitting, okay? This fitting attaches to a blue hose that comes from the TIG torch, okay? So what's going to happen is this is going to be a separate input to the flowmeter than your hose that goes to the back of the welder for your MIG gun, okay? So if you're running MIG, you need to have your flowmeter hooked up to your tank run into the back of this machine. If you're going to run TIG, the hose on the back of the machine doesn't matter, okay? It's this little blue hose, and what happens is it did come with a little pipe clamp, but basically this blue hose just sticks onto this barbed fitting. You can end up putting that pipe clamp on there if you choose, and basically this end would then thread into your flow meter. So very simple assembly. But I wanted to talk about this TIG torch because it's real nice. So first of all, this has your regular twist lock adapters. Very nice. There is a coating over this entire TIG cable assembly, which first of all, this is long. It's long. I mean, it's probably 15 feet. I'd have to look up the specifications, but it's got a coating over it. Very nice coating. Okay, and now inside I can feel my gas line and my cable. They are run separate, as you could expect. And now up here on the end of the TIG torch, what you have is you have a gas valve right here. So when you're TIG welding, there is no solenoid in the welder that opens to allow gas to flow to the TIG torch. You're actually doing that on this torch right here. Now this is very common, especially for a small welder like this, so don't let that deter you. Learning to weld with gas control on the handle is actually very important, I think. So very nice TIG torch. It is air cooled. But it comes with all the parts. It comes with gas cups, it comes with collets, collet bodies. It even came with a 2% thoriated piece of tungsten, which is very cool. So really everything that you need to get started with. Stick, it doesn't come with any electrodes, but you can pick those up anywhere. So for stick, you're ready to go. Super nice stinger, super nice ground clamp, 200 amp machine. You can run pretty much anything on that, it's great. Great TIG torch assembly, very durable. It looks like it's going to hold up well over time. I'm very excited to try this out. You saw how easy the changeover was for the spool of wire to go from a large spool to a small spool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a couple different videos. I wanted to kind of give you my initial impressions and show you what comes in the box as well as some basic setup for this one. And then I am going to do a part 2, which is a little more of the setup of the machine, things that I find as time goes on that maybe you're going to have questions about or things that might be of a concern. And I would also like to show some of the welding. I want to show you how it TIG welds, how it MIG welds, how it stick welds. I'd like to get some video of that. So keep your eyes peeled for part 2 on this WELDPRO MIG200. Seems like a great unit. I'm real excited to have it. And if you have any questions up to this point, please feel free to leave me a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed it. Have a great day.